I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, December the 21st, where we had a fairly neutral cattle on feed report. Sure, we come up a little bit short on the placements, but I think the analysts maybe overcorrected a bit after missing it a month ago on the placements, but the inventory was pretty much spot on, and so I don't think it's going to be a big market mover, and it's going to be a fairly friendly deal going into the holiday break here. But look at the board on Thursday. December live cattle futures up 50 cents at 120 and a quarter. February was up $1 at 122.35. January feeder cattle up 122 at 147.42, and March up $1.17 at 145.45. Let's look at the cattle on feed report. Your December 1st inventories, the actuals come in at 101.9 compared to the average of the analyst guess of 101.7. That is awful close there. Placements come in at 95.1, which is better than I really expected they would be, although your average of the analyst guess was all the way down to 93.6, but that's really not that far off. Marketings come in a little bit favorable at 101.4 compared to 101 even of what the average of the analyst guess was, but I would say fairly neutral a little bit, and not even slightly bullish, but maybe a little bit to the negative side, but shouldn't be a major market mover. Your fat cattle trade did not completely develop on Thursday. We did have a little bit of trade in the Northern Plains. Nebraska sold some cattle in pockets at 190. That would be $2 higher dressed. Not too bad. It had some live sales in Nebraska from 118 to 119, which would be a pinch better for them. Earlier in the morning, we had some Iowa sales at 120. I talked to some guys. I think that was mostly to the regional packers on some confinement cattle that were really clean. But there's no reason that the Southern Plains shouldn't be able to get 120 here to close out the week and kind of close out the year right before the holiday break. But there was also some live sales up in the Northern Plains from 118, 119 in Iowa too. But look at your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on Cattle Market Central, 145.50. That was up 73 cents, so had some good sales on Thursday. One of them being Pratt, Kansas, 3,000 head of cattle there. Sold their feeder cattle steady to $4 higher. Calves were really good, sold at least steady, and instances as much as $10 higher on some of those good calves, especially the steers that were ready to turn right out on wheat. Farmers and Ranchers Livestock, Salina, Kansas, 2,700 head for them, steady to $5 higher for the most part on all classes, except for the big steers weighing over 8, which everybody's been kind of after, thinking that they could tie them to the April board. But it's really not something that they can conceivably do now. So they backed off of those a little bit, and some of those bigger steers, 8 to 950 pounds, or $1 to $2 lower. Your individual quote come out of Pratt, Kansas, 55 head of 875 pound yearling steers bring 156.85, and that's your feeder flash for Friday.